Hi everyone and welcome to FPL with me, Got No Skill, as we prepare for Game Week 10. But first, let's quickly check back to see how I went in Game Week 9. So I managed to get 56, which is a good result considering the average was just 43. This was the lowest of the season so far, so it meant that my score was enough to continue my recent resurgence, giving me my 5th green arrow in a row. Woohoo! So now, my overall rank has gone up to around the 130k mark, which is a solid position to be in, with 3/4 of the season left to play. And as for my predictions, I got 5 out of 10. And now, let's look at my Game Week 10 lineup. And this is probably how my Game Week 10 team will look. And as you may have noticed, the transfer I've made for this game week is Mura out and Mane in. Mura has been really disappointing as he's blanked for the last 5 game weeks, so transferring him out is a long overdue move already. And as I pointed out in my previous video, with Liverpool's great fixtures, I think you need to cover for their attack. And the player who could offer the most value in doing this could be Mane, as he returned from injury and scored in the Champions League. The fact that he's the most transferred out player could also make him a great transfer in, as there could be a mini point swing if he delivers and punishes the fickle nature of many FPL managers. And now, let's move on to the biggest game of this week, Spurs against City. And let's start with City, as they're the subject of one of the most pressing issues in FPL at the moment, Pep Guardiola's rotation policy. We all know that the City midfield can be a goldfield for points, but it is the uncertainty in who starts that makes it also a deadly minefield. And this was highlighted in City's 5-0 demolition of Burnley last game week, but there was a noticeable absentee, Raheem Sterling. Despite being City's highest scoring midfielder and 3rd overall in the FPL midfield rankings, Sterling was benched in Game Week 9. This goes to show that none of the City midfielders are safe from rotation. Indeed, if we look at the minutes played by Man City's midfielders, Sterling is actually 3rd on the list, hence reiterating the uncertainty in who starts in City's midfield. If we ignore Fernandinho, as he's a defensive midfielder and unlikely to get attacking returns consistently, it is actually Bernardo Silva who has been the safest option in midfield, as he started all but one of City's Premier League games. And with the return of De Bruyne, who is arguably City's most creative player, it may actually be Bernardo Silva who makes way. Therefore, with all the uncertainties in midfield, the best attacking option at Man City remains to be Aguero. Despite all the frustration of him not playing entire games, Aguero is still the highest scoring forward in FPL and in reality, as he's averaging 6.4 points per match and has a total of 6 goals in the league. And crucially, he seems to have won the battle with Jesus to start in the league, so I wouldn't be selling him for anyone anytime soon. However, he may not still be the best captain option, especially this game week, as they face Spurs, who we'll look at right now. Spurs' attack hasn't been that great recently, so the best fantasy assets lie in defense, with Trippier the standout option. And this is due to him taking his fair share of free kicks and corners, which was seen in their midweek Champions League match, where he also popped up with an assist from open play, which somewhat compensated for their 2 goals conceded. Therefore, I'm still inclined to start Trippier, even though he's facing Man City's devastating attack. But with all this in mind, I still think City will edge this one 2-1, as they have been in better form and Aguero was rested from the Champions League. So now, with Aguero and Kane facing off against each other, let's look at the captain options who are likely to be popular in Game Week 10. And the most popular captain is likely to be Mo Salah, after his brace in the Champions League. Liverpool's home fixture against Cardiff looks to be the best one on paper, so Mane, for reasons I've mentioned already, and Robertson, with its clean sheet and bonus point potential, could be great captain options as well. Personally, I think I'm leaning towards the next option in Hazard, as he has an enticing fixture as well, away at Burnley. However, Hazard is a slight doubt with a back injury, so the armband may go to one of the Liverpool players mentioned already. Another promising fixture is Arsenal away at Palace, so Aubameyang and Lacazette could be in amongst the goals. Aubameyang has been in great form recently, but I don't think he will start again this game week, as he played almost the entirety of Arsenal's Europa League win. However, most of his points have come from the bench, so if you're not worried about his reduced minutes, he could still be a great captain option. Although he blanked last game week, Lacazette had a couple of chances where he would usually score, so he's still a great captain option, especially with a fixture like Palace away. As for the differential options, the Fulham-Bournemouth match looks to be quite an open game, so the likes of Schürrle, Mitrovic, and Fraser Wilson could be in for lots of points. Rudiger and Ozil also provide informed alternatives to Chelsea and Arsenal as well. And finally, let's look at my predictions for Game Week 10. So for this game week, I've got Liverpool, Watford, Leicester, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United and Man City to win, with the others resulting in draws. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Good luck for Game Week 10 and please consider subscribing.